here we are. Donna and myself walking down the street. Hopefully y'all can see me. I can't see the screen, so just guessing I'm in frame. So I always like doing the inner camera, but this is a little bit more leap of faith, I suppose. And it's a nice sunny day, good reason to wear sunglasses. So we're trying this out. We're trying the whole walking and talking experience. What's going on? Today is a good day to do that for me because I tried a new church called the Five Solas. My boss has started going to, and it's a Reformed church and out and proud, and they are they're doing pretty good over there. They have a nice ordered liturgy. I like that. They started with answering a Bible question, which is like, does God still perform miracles? Yes, he does. Then they move into like some song, some more reading of the Bible, and then more song, and then we did communion, and they were even like, all right, now in doing communion, if you have some unconfessed, unrepentant sin, then we urge you to not take communion. And that's also how they do church discipline, is refusing to let you do communion, which I thought was really interesting. And I really appreciate it, actually, that they're not just letting people mindlessly do this thing. She's looking around. I have to keep her from getting into people's front yards too much. But really, Donna starts to walk me after a little while. I just move forward. I stop. She moves in a different direction. We start going that one. Oh, you're peeing. Okay, you can pee. She never poops or pees when we go on a walk. That's actually the first time I've seen her squat. Crazy. There she is. It's a hot day, but she loves getting out. Yeah, so liturgy was good. Ordered worship, that's what liturgy is. And the communion was nice. And it was a potluck day. And that was really nice. I appreciated that. I thought my buddy was going to introduce me to people, but he was wrangling his kids the whole time. And but people started coming up to me and introducing themselves. And so I met the three main asters. It's tri-pastor elder led. And I like that because, three's balance. If two people disagree, then a third can break that tie. And they're semi-bivocational, no debt. So they're not dependent on overly generous goers or whatnot. And there's three of them. So there's pros and cons with that. But shoot, if me doing this was like bivocational, it's like, what am I doing? I'm walking my dog. There's this whole new YouTube ad revenue deal that they're doing with just people talking on here. And so, you know what? If you got a good word for the world from the Lord, then why shouldn't you be doing it? So there's a secret for you. I don't know if that's really a secret. It's just a thing that's going on YouTube. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get that financial freedom, right? That way money isn't tying up my time, or worrying about money and tying up my time from doing real meaningful, impactful stuff. Because otherwise, what are we doing? I think it's still recording. Yep, it's still recording. Did you find something? Sometimes I feel like I should pay more attention to her when we're walking. Say hi to the camera, Donna. No, kiss me, but not on the lips, okay? You give Daddy a kiss on the cheek. I'll give you one on the head, so you can do that. No? Nope. Okay. Nowhere to go. Let's go. Come on. I go around the block. She wants to go in somebody's backyard. Nope. Yeah, so that was all very interesting. Met a whole bunch of people, all came up and just were talking to me. Met their podcaster guy. They do a podcast on the Five Solas website. So I checked that out. They needed some help landscaping. Already there was a need for me to help out, possibly. And, well, I said I'd send them an estimate, but they really don't want a whole lot. I'm just like, I don't mind. That'd be a really cool idea. If I went on like a field trip with some of the parents and the kids and buying the stuff, and then just like did a whole teaching thing on it rather than just a job thing, because that'd be a lot more fun anyway. It's like if I got paid for that, that'd be better. But honestly, for the amount it would cost, like I'd rather do it as something fun for the day that like moves the needle forward in my spiritual life. Then I would rather do that, because I mean, it has to be a certain amount, enough money for me to just go out there and do a job either by myself or have laborers to do it. And it's really not digging a whole lot. I think what I would just do if I were them is do one big plant, like I was telling them, use an Esperanza and a bunch of lantanas around it in a small bed. And those are both Texas natives. They're drought tolerant, they're freeze resistant, so even if they do get frozen and die, they will come back. This is talking in the hot Texas sun, which it is a broiling right now. I mean, it's nice for me because I'm, in a tank top and, breeze and everything like that, but golly, if I was working in this, it'd be sweltering. You find something? Talking more to Donna, really, but I looked at you guys. Somebody's backyard. Walking by, just doing a truck. Just, I have my camera out and just talking to it, so kind of funny. I'm like one of those LA YouTubers. Almost right now. I'm like one of them fancy LA YouTubers. Got my Joby. I got my nice dog. She needs a bath and a haircut. She is pretty shaggy for right now. What else? Okay, so potluck. Yep, that was nice. I disagreed with some people very nicely. I talked about how somebody had left the church that I'm actually going to right now. Not any serious stuff, but disagreement, kind of serious. It gets to a certain point. I actually agreed with him, and I think he, which was funny because I think he expected to be disagreed with. He's the way he talked was more like a passionate plea to see that this is what this is, and it is that divorce is not okay in any situation. It's taking that to the most even extremes, which I'm inclined to agree with him, but there's not a lot of sanctified people, I think, that would be able to handle that correctly. It's like people are going to do bad things that we're going to downplay, and it's because they haven't been discipled right growing up. And they need to be made known to realize these things, and then want to do it themselves, and then make good decisions on who they should marry, rather than just anybody that they're like out of desperation or selfish need or want or whatever. So yeah, I agreed with him about divorce, I think. But yeah, we got really deep. You could tell that I think this was like kind of emotionally fresh for him. Like maybe I walked in on the middle of a kind of a deep conversation with him and one of the elders, because one of the main elders was sitting there, talked with him, and he was like, yeah, well, I've had to deal on the ministry side with women that are going through abusive husbands, and so what do you do with that? And this is the controversial hot take, is that maybe she should still stay with him and suffer as Christ suffered. But you can't ask a non-believer to do that, right? Because she doesn't believe. And not only that, but what has the church done for her to get her to accept that as a path of faith? Like, have they reached out in faith to her? Is that kind of faith there at any particular church that they're willing to walk through somebody in such a delicate situation? And in my experience, churches don't want to deal with that. They would rather kind of, in my experience, again, I don't want to talk bad about the church, because the church is knows the best about peace with one another, and they really just need to be discipled in it. But yeah, in my experience at least, people just get kind of brushed off to the side and no serious conversation happens, and it was like they were really never that close anyway. It's a little superficial, which is like when you get to these kind of bigger churches that are doing a lot of good, evangelizing a whole lot, you find that it's only the gospel deep, and there's a lot of people that are struggling with very unique things that are all common to man, but the church is just like, listen, I got a lot going on. I'm dealing with like a conference coming in, or something like that, and I'm dealing with the men's youth event, and I've got like 20 people emailing me every single day, and I'm having meetings and talking with people and still doing a lot of good. And things whenever it just sounds like, oh, so and so, personal examples, like so and so is going through a divorce. There you go. Take it back, divorce. And how close can somebody get before that is willing to accept church discipline? Because I think only church members that will accept church discipline are ones that are invested that deep within the community. Usually, what you have is just kind of a lot of a service level service. There's the staff versus the people that are just members. So yeah, divorce. Somebody going through divorce might have a problem, and the staff is not really able to give their time to do it. And it's not that they're not generous with their time already, but truly, I don't know that the church was ever really designed to do that. I mean, to me, it's more of like a marketplace for Christian culturalism. What I see right now, which is like not bad, but it's not really intimate relationships, and there are some more than others, but just in my experience, it's very quick. You're not having those there. I mean, I had a lot of deep conversations already. Granted, it was the potluck once a month. We're able to sit down and talk with these people, but even that's pretty more intimate than what you usually get, unless you go to Sunday after class, like go out to eat. The way I've been doing it is a lot of social events and service projects and with a certain community, and it's really good. It's very appointment-based driven, but those people aren't the people that I see throughout my work week. They're not what I'm usually keeping on my mind, unless it's sometimes, but it's really just it's social events and church. And then church, you're going from one thing to the next thing, you're not stopping and really talking about things. You get a lesson, granted a good lesson, and you can have sort of some conversations, but you're in a group of people around other people you kind of really don't even know, or maybe you haven't even ever met. So you're not going to have time to get deeper, and appointments take time, and it's like the church was meant for people that are in each other's lives. The relationships are work, but I mean, really the most influential people in your circle are going to be the ones that are the closest to you, right? And the ones that are influencing you and them, and that's like the people, that's like your family, that's like your coworkers, it's like your best friends. I'm just kind of rambling now. About divorce, all that sort of thing. Got off on a tangent. Deep conversation there. It was really nice. I'm hoping I'm not like spilling the beans, or in a multitude of words, sin is not lacking, right? So hopefully, Lord, keep me from doing that, as I do believe that this is good. I just want to be thoughtful, careful. Oh shoot, yeah. I mean, I feel like I have to be way more cautious of things, of people to not trust in bigger churches than I do in like a small one where like I know all the families there. Like I know who they are, been to their houses, we've had We've had meals together. Not just people that I see maybe once or twice a week for about an hour or two. I'm still going. Yep, still going. Donna's kind of wandering. Yeah, I should have done to get like a travel bowl for her. She's probably getting thirsty. Yeah, you want to turn around? Turn around. Well, you know, well, first we'll go to this. Seems to be a garage sale. Look at that for a second. All right. Come on, Donna. We're going to a garage sale. Good girl. Maybe they'll have a bowl of water for her. Who knows? They offer. They might not like me recording. But this is my right, okay? But no, I'm not gonna get into a battle with somebody about my personal rights. They can't stop me anyway if I decide to do something. But of course, they want to remain in sanctified speech and walk, edifying all the ears. Hey, Donna, let's go. Good girl. That was actually really nice. They're just Hispanic people that were selling mostly clothes. And I'm like, oh, nope, don't need most clothes. I got plenty of clothes, is what I said. Oh, look at all their dogs. Let's see. Look, you want to make some friends? Hey, don't be scared. She's such a coward sometimes. Well, her legs are shaking. Look, they're so much smaller than you. Come on. Maybe they're saying some nasty things, so I don't know. What do you think? They're a cute pair, like salt and pepper. All right, you want to go? You want to get away from these guys? They're a little obnoxious, don't you think? Oh, better. Want to go? How about? Want to come up? All right, okay. Can you smell my hand? There you go. Look. She's unbothered. All right. That one's pooping. Marking the territory, I guess. All right. Well-guarded vicinity. Let's go. Donna, let's go. Hey. Oh, now she's talking to them. She's imparting some peace and wisdom on them. Oh, that's sweet. Donna, you ready? Let's go. Okay, let's go. All right. Oh, they're back at it. What the black one is. White one seems to be all tuckered out. They say something nasty. Hey, let's go. Oh, no. Bring your mouth out. All right. We're walking again. We're walking the street. Walking the street. Me and Donna here are walking the street. What? Nice little tune. Hey, let's go. Yeah, some more about this church. They introduced me to the only one single girl that's there on the first day, which is funny. And very, she was sweet. I don't know. I probably shouldn't, it would be gauche for me to talk about that on here, so I'm not going to do it. But yeah, status is still searching for wife. They said they have a Wednesday night Bible study, 6:30 to 7:30. I was going to talk to Ben about maybe if he wanted to join that. See, they're talking about the Council of Dort, apparently, which was the response to the Arminian points of salvation versus the tulip. Well, it was a response, basically. And tulip came out of the Council of Dort, if I remember this right. There was a council or something. Yeah, something of Dort. I think it was council. Funny name, though, right? Dort. Never heard of it. Apparently is what led to the 5 points of Calvinism. Yeah, so the response, they're going over that and the Bible. So honestly, I really love that topic about theologians and theology and all that sort of thing. And how, I mean, we're Protestants, right? We're not Catholics, so that has history with it, right? Part of the Protestant Reformation. So what was the theology of these guys that set up our founding systems that we have here in America? Because they were the reformers. Basically, we got Puritans and Pilgrims out of it here in the United States, and Pilgrims wanted to escape the church and do church here, but Puritans wanted to purify the church, and they wanted to from within. So that's the difference between the two. Now, I think there is something to the visible church as it stands, but the Catholics are hopped up on some weird stuff, and it really is by faith alone. By faith alone, through grace alone. There's no other these sort of extra things that you have to do to sort of work your way out of a purgatory, which how they get purgatory is like a total, like it's a deep reading in of one verse that they create a massive doctrine and theology out of. And I just don't see it there. I mean, it's like, how can you infer this entire void space that people fall into out of it after they die? To me, I think it's crazy, and I don't think I'm alone in that. And I think what they would say is there's some. It's not like they believe in works also, but it's works and the sacraments. And I do believe that you being saved results in the sacraments, but I don't believe that these are the things that save you or justify you. I mean, they do sanctify you as you walk in obedience, but that's through any obedience, but that's how God calls us to be obedient. So that's where people kind of get a little sticky. I just don't think that I think they matter and you should be doing them. But I also don't think that you should be like the mortal and venial sins kind of thing. Like, it does turn it into operational currency of the religion. And then people in the higher up can sort of buy spirituality points and create this game with God, man-made system that subverts how God actually wanted us to be with one another. Humble and submission and not, righteousness. Kind of getting a little derailed, but you like it here? Yeah, we'll sit here for a second. That's good. Oh, yeah. Gospel and. This guy right there. Gospel and. Plus the sacraments, and sort of this tearing up, getting you out of things. I'll probably, maybe I'll get some angry Catholics about this, but I should definitely look up on it again. It's been a while, but it's been a sure while. I'm like, okay, I'm not changing any of my theology based off of the Catholic Church and doctrine. Not to mention with the visible church, there's a lot of systemic issues, I believe. And I think, but I don't know, this new pope, it doesn't seem too bad, but to me it's like they're all kind of hard to be reasoned with, right? Because I think their religion is based off of faith in more things than I have. I have faith in God. And to my detriment, I have faith in people sometimes, and that's why I had an apostatizing for a while. Not only why, I wanted to do my own things. And God got in the way of that. Yeah, you want some water is what you want. Shade is nice, but you want water. Cool off for a little bit longer though. Hey, get out of their flower bed. And I don't think Catholics would not say that also. I think it's almost kind of like the justification part is not once alone, and we do, as at least Protestants and Reformed Protestants do believe that justification happens at one time, and then sanctification is throughout after that. But yeah, all the extra stuff, it's like, well, you're justified once in Christ, right? You're a child of His, you've been adopted into the family. But I feel like if once you're in, and the whole like venial mortal sin thing is almost kind of like a point system. It's like, oh, the more, if you do venial or mortal sins, then you're falling behind and you're having to work out that sanctification in this afterlife called purgatory. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What about the blood? I know I'm a sinner. I'm saved by grace. This is through no undoing of myself, through no doing of myself, right? I told my dad when I thought he was dying on hospice last year, I was like, well, Dad, your only hope is Jesus now. Because there's plenty of things that I'm like, Dad, that's a sin that he just doesn't see, you know? And there's sins that I just don't see sometimes, you know? And I think that's the whole part of the sanctifying the nations as well through our children, bringing them up in the fear and admonition of the Lord. And then that is how the gospel goes out, as well as adoption from other people. And you're like, well, I mean, God is adopting the family. I don't need to go off on a tangent on that. Maybe it would be a good tangent, I suppose, but stop myself from it because we were talking about a particular subject at that time, which was, forgot. You know, get on a train, hop off the train, like, I think I'm gonna hop on this other train. I'm like, no, let's stay back on the train, or get back on the other train, and then there's not a place to jump back on, and you're like, oh, stranded in the wilderness. Indecision. Maybe I'll cut all this part out. We're almost home. Oh, what do I got left for the day? I gotta clean up the house. I gotta clean up the house because I have like a house church at my house every Sunday. And so we're doing it today. And Pam will be there. I don't think Brett's going to be able to make it because, yeah, there was a death. That's right. Laura and Bethany, Alyssa, they wanted to have a Mexican-themed food night. So one of the girls is bringing some, it's like a Mexican meatball stew. Forget what it's called. All I had to do was get chips and salsa. So I got, or chips and guac is what I'm doing. But chips and some kind of dip. Which is nice because that means I don't have to do anything.